always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in losers in 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his first pass is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The tackle there by LaMarcus Joyner. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
I'm focused here on Aqib Talib. Into his 30s now, but still playing at an extremely high level. It has a reputation as a ball magnet. And a lot of people think that means the ball just comes right to him. No, he goes and gets it. Both in interceptions, forces fumbles, and oftentimes turns it into 6 points for his own team.
To throw is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. Throw a touchdown pass, didn't throw it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play. He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
We're good. We're good.
3rd and long. It's gone. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bring up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now a run with Cook. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Cousins from the gun on third. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They go play action here on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
First down. Here's Cousins. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. A give. This is Cook. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Second down, Cousins. And it's caught. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
They run. It's Gurley. Shifts by him. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's the first catch of the game for Kupp, and he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And his throw is incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The numbers for Cooks in that game last week, 9 catches, 116 yards.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's off to a hot start here in his first month, and those are the kind of performances you expect to see going forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Andrew Sendejo in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And a short gain here down to the 22. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. A shotgun snap for Goff. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Handoff comes to Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Cousins giving this Vikings offense a bit of a spark early on in his tenure in purple as his guys have it 1st and 10. Murray. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw on 2nd down is gone. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Sit hot, by 20.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Richardson able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And he will score. Touchdown, LA.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick-6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
they really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Back to it after the pick six. Cousins, blitz coming, and down he goes. Aaron Donald able to drop him for a loss of 4.
I know there'd be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Cousins. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And now it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Cousins. Flushed out right. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Oh, now he bowls him over. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. They start the drive with Cook. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Lamar Houston able to drop him for a loss of 4.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference and a gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season.
A first down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now Cook. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. On play action, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bryce Hager in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Taken in at the 11 and able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On second down, here's Gall. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way that pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Following the interception, Cousins. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Throwing, Cousins. That's complete, right around the 8. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will knot things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Fifteen seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up first and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. Plenty to look forward to in that early window, one being a noontime start up in Green Bay. A big one for the Packers as they get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Out on the West Coast, more good stuff in the late afternoon as we'll be watching the one down in Carson, where it'll be the Chargers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, one of the better rivalries of the last couple of decades in the NFL, the Ravens, Steelers from Heinz Field. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. With the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. Off the play fake, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Cousins now. Finds a seam inside the 40. Wide open receiver complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Play fake. Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Third and long for Cousins. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Murray. And now running right through it. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Oftentimes we play as an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
His pass caught at the 4. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the I. They get it to him running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. Third and goal. To throw is Cousins. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Carlson able to put this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. And they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Rams getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
76.
Here's Goff now on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting. More targets.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll come on for his fifth kick of the night. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 16. Now it's Goff into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2nd down, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. To throw on 2nd down is gone. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Rams on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Goff. And he will find his man on the outside. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 1st down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Now Goff on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of the guy I played with way back when and told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here's Goff. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A Ram 1st down as Goff finds Cup. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's gone. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing again is gone. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Rams on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Goff throwing again. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Again, Goff. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Here's Goff. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
It's not something that we see every game now. Todd Gurley held below 50 yards, and we are in the 4th quarter. Got to give a lot of credit. They've done a nice job of bottling him up.
They absolutely have. A lot of times he can still find holes, but there haven't been the holes there. The offensive line hasn't created much space. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Samson Ebukam in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting
Robert Woods, the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, LA. Robert Woods, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the 4th. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Cousins to throw it. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. This is intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Gurley, and they'll bring him down right around the 13. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. To throw is gone. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. Off to Woods as the Rams move the chains. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. There comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he powers his way up past the 30. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Rams, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.